Welcome back, students. Now, what do you mean by constellations? Look at the sky for some time. Can you see some stars forming groups with shapes like those in figure? The stars forming a group that has a recognizable shape is called a constellation. That also you have learned in lower standard. You can easily identify some constellations in the night sky. For this, you should know what a particular constellation looks like and where to look for it in the night sky. Means, if a particular stars are making a group, then you should know the shape of that particular group and the location of that particular group in the sky. If you know these two things, it is very easy for you to see that particular things in the sky. So one of the most famous constellations which you can see during summertime in the early part of the night is Ursa Major. See, you have given a Great Bear, you can just see the shape. You have a Orion, you can just see the shape of the stars. Cassiopeia and Leo Major. So these are the constellations which you can observe during the night. It is also known as the Big Dipper, the Great Bear, or the Saptarshi. Saptarshi means the group of 7 stars. There are 7 prominent stars in this constellation. It appears like a big ladle or a question mark. There are 3 stars in the handle of the ladle and 4 in its bowl. In all ancient cultures, very interesting mythological stories have been associated with the various constellations. Few activities are given, you can go through it. That is, observe this constellation. You can see the diagram of each and every constellation which is given in your textbook. Orion is another well-known constellation that can be seen during winter in the late evening. It is one of the most magnificent constellations in the sky. It also has 7 or 8 bright stars. Orion is also called the hunter. The 3 middle stars represent the belt of the hunter, and the 4 bright stars appear to be arranged in the form of a quadrilateral. You can see this one. The star Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky, is located close to the Orion. You can observe the diagram. To locate Sirius, imagine a straight line passing through the 3 middle stars of the Orion. Look along this line towards the east. This line will lead you to a very bright star. It is a Sirius star. Cassiopeia is another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It is visible during winter in the early part of the night. It looks like a distorted letter W or M. It's depend on you how you can look it. Okay. Now the solar system. This also you have learned in lower standard. Lots of things you have learned about your solar system. So we know that sun is in the center. Around the sun we have planets which continuously moving around the sun according to its particular orbit. The sun and the celestial bodies which revolve around it form the solar system. It consists of large number of bodies such as planets, comets, asteroids and meteoroids. The gravitational attraction between the sun and these objects keeps them revolving around it. The earth, as you know, also revolves around the sun. It is a member of the solar system. It is a planet. There are 7 other planets that revolve around the sun, and the 8 planets in their order of distance from the sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. You can see in the figure. I have read that there are 9 planets in the solar system. The 9th one is Pluto, but now it is no more as a planet. Why? So till 2006 there were 9 planets in the solar system. Pluto was the farthest planet from the sun. In 2006 the International Astronomical Union adopted a new definition of a planet, and Pluto does not fit this definition. It is no longer a planet of the solar system. Okay. Day by day the inventions are going on. Day by day the new policies are coming new definitions of solar system coming. According to that, Pluto is not fit in that particular definition. That's why no longer it is now a planet. The sun is the nearest star from us. It is continuously emitting huge amounts of heat and light, and the sun is the source of almost all energy on the earth. In fact, the sun is the main source of heat and light for all the planets. The planets look like stars, but they do not have light of their own. They merely reflect the sunlight that falls on them. Can you distinguish between planets and stars? Obviously. Planets do not have their own lights, they just reflect the lights of sun. But star, they have their own lights and they are twinkling. Planets do not twinkle. The simplest method of identifying planets from stars is that stars twinkling whereas planets do not. Also, the planets keep changing their position with respect to the stars. Stars never change their position. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the sun, and this path is called an orbit. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called its period of revolution. The period of revolution increases as the distance of the planet increases from the sun. Besides revolving around the sun, a planet also rotates on its own axis like a top. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation is called its period of rotation. Some planets are known to have moons, satellites revolving around them. Any celestial body revolving around another celestial body is called its satellite. The Earth can be said to be a satellite of the sun. Through generally we call it a planet of the sun. We use the term satellites for the bodies revolving around planets. Okay, if anything, any body which is revolving around the sun, they are known as planets, and if any body revolving around the planets, it is known as the satellite. There is a difference between planet and satellite. So moon is rotating around, revolving around the earth, so it is a satellite. Earth is revolving around the sun, so it is planet. There are many man-made satellites revolving around the earth, and these are called artificial satellites. Why satellite? Because they are also moving around this planet. That's why. Now, next is Mercury. Mercury means Buddha. The planet Mercury is nearest to the sun. It is the smallest planet of our solar system because Mercury is very close to the sun. It is very difficult to observe it as most of the time it is hidden in the glare of the sun. Due to the bright light of the sun, we are unable to see Mercury. However, it can be observed just before sunrise or just after sunset near the horizon. So it is visible only at places where trees or buildings do not obstruct the view of the horizon. Mercury has no satellite of its own. Next is Venus. Venus is the Earth's nearest planetary neighbor. It is the brightest planet in the night sky. Sometimes Venus appears in the eastern sky before sunrise. Sometimes it appears in the western sky just after sunset. Therefore, it is often called a morning or an evening star. Although it is not a star, try to locate Venus in the night sky. Venus has no moon or no satellites of its own. Rotation of Venus on its axis is somewhat unusual. It rotates from east to west while the Earth rotates from west to east. So if you get a chance, try to observe Venus through a telescope. You will observe that Venus shows phases just like the moon. Next we have the Earth. We know it as Prithvi. The Earth is the only planet in the solar system on which life is known to exist, and some special environmental conditions are responsible for the existence and continuation of life on the earth, and this includes just the right distance from the sun, so that is it has the right temperature range, the presence of water and suitable atmosphere, and a blanket of ozone. These are the conditions which makes earth for the survival of the life, for the existence of life. From space, the earth appears blue-green due to the reflection of light from water and landmass on its surfaces. The axis of rotation of the earth is not perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. The tilt is responsible for the change of season on the earth, and the earth has only one moon, that is one satellite, that is moon.